What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. I'm going to get to the subject matter at hand, but I just want to point one thing out. Um, I've been having a few isolated comments from people who have been demanding that I stop talking about politics and just stick to sports. You know, being the Negro that I am, I should only talk about sports. Now, normally, it is true that talking politics and sports often doesn't work because it can cause division. But I think that myself and a few others can get away with it. This is what I've been told. We can get away with it because we have an audience over the years that have built up that have either an interest in sports and politics, or I have people who are interested in politics and I have people that are interested in sports. And I also think it helps that they tell me that it sounds like and it appears that I know what the hell I'm talking about. And I do think it's also rather presumptuous to tell somebody what to talk about on their channel. And normally, yeah, it can hurt channels. It can hurt channels. But not necessarily when your viewpoint is the vast majority of those that are subscribed to you. So, for those of you who keep telling me to stop politics, there are 10 to 20 of you who actually support this channel, subscribe to the Patreon, donate from time to time. I think I'll listen to their voice more than yours, because if you don't do those things, I don't necessarily mean donate, but if you don't support this platform really, you can do a couple of things. You can just skip past these videos, or you could do me a bigger favor and unsubscribe. But anyway, so Kamala Harris. In 1 week, she's gone from an incompetent, bumbling, lightweight of a vice president to somehow this inspirational, Obama-esque, history-making candidate. Boy, oh boy. I mean, I've seen media steroids before, but Lord have mercy, she is pumping some sort of PEDs that will make LeBron, Ramon James, absolutely, totally furious. I mean, she's knocking down some juice that'll make Ryan Garcia throw a hissy fit and go on one of his social media unhinged rants. Lord, I mean, come on, man. Now all of a sudden she's this juggernaut. She's this roller coaster wave that we all have to ride. We don't want to miss the Kamala Harris Express. Well, you know, a lot of people she's ridden a lot of people, you know, so it's the opposite effect now for other people to ride her, you know, but still, she's this roller coaster that we all have to get on. This fun ride that, you know, hey, you got to get on this roller coaster, man. I mean, it's the best thing going. Come on. It's free. Come on, man. Come on. Miss me with this. And all of these cook polls, all of these fake reports, they ain't fooling me. You know what I'm saying? Supposedly she done raised, she gonna earn more money than Deadpool and Wolverine. You know, all of a sudden, everybody's just donating. Oh, were all these dollars just sitting in some dark room coffer, just sitting for her, and they just pouring it all in, acting like it's all this activity? Because I'm hearing supposedly all this excitement, but I don't see it. I mean, I know people like, man, what are you talking about? You probably know 20 people. Well, I probably know around altogether 100 people, maybe more. I'm talking people that I interact with on a weekly basis, right? I think that's a rough estimate, about 100 people. And yeah, that's a very, very extremely small sample size, especially when you consider this election, I'm assuming going to have maybe as many as 170 million or so people vote. But with Obama, especially in 2008, I mean, the atmosphere was absolutely electrified. It was so much excitement, so much energy, so much energy. You could sense it. I mean, the buzz. We were talking politics like it was the 96 Bulls. This was a totally different atmosphere. With her, it's not there. Yes, there's a few black women that I've seen that champion her, but it's not as many as the mainstream media would have you believe. It's not as many. And I suspect I'm righter than I'm wrong because, you know, for all of this energy, for all these polls showing she's going to win in an electoral semi-landslide, all of a sudden, there's some realities that I know about this country. They didn't elect a white woman president 8 years ago. And I don't think they're going to elect her. You know, there's a lot of undecideds in these polls. And to be honest with you, I suspect that a lot of these undecideds, a good plurality of them, are bigots and racists and sexists and misogynists who just don't want to answer that they're not going to vote for her. They may not be committed to Trump, but they're not going to vote for her, no matter what you do. And I suspect there's going to be a lot of disappointed and very angry people the day after Election Day. I could be wrong, but I know how this country is. And then it's not even just that. That's going to be part of the election, unfortunately. The sexism and racism and misogyny. That's going to be part of it. We're seeing it now. And that's probably going to help her a little bit. But it's not even just that. If the Republicans just got smart and just attacked her on her record or lack of a record, especially when it comes to her lack of activity or lack of activism when it comes to the black community, her apathy when it comes to the black community, despite all of this fake support that's been out there, that would open up a lot of people's eyes, even those who despise the Republicans, because Republicans are playing right into the Democrats' hands with J.D. Vance on down with the stupid attacks. But I still think that this woman's, despite the media pumping steroids into her and trying to make a featherweight into a heavyweight, it's not going to work. I just read about an event in Pennsylvania, which is a critical swing state. It's a critical swing state. And only 68 people show up to this event, even though you keep hearing it, oh, man, 200,000 people online and 10,000 black men. All this, they're trying to make you give this impression like, oh, man, you're not part of the group. You're not part of the mainstream. You're not part. They still look at us as not individuals, but as a monolith. They don't really respect us. I'm very, to be honest with you, I'm real pissed off and heated at the mainstream media because they're proving themselves that they're just as racist as Republicans because they're not listening to us on the issues. They don't care about that. You got Joy Reid with that dirty ass shriveled up mop broom on top of her head, mop brush, whatever. Dust rag, Swiffer dust rag on top of her head, trying to tell us if you don't support her, we're going to look at you funny. Well, you can look at me funny all you want to. I'm not voting for her. I'm not. Probably voting third party. But I'm not voting for her. No matter how much you try to browbeat us into it or try to pressure people, that's what they're doing. Pressure. We already told you it was going to do this. You know what I'm saying? The Republicans, they can't help themselves from being racist, but the Democrats doing everything they do this every 4 years. They try to browbeat you, pressure you, now even humiliate you, and yes, scare you into voting for Kamala Harris. Now they're coming with this stuff where Trump said the other day, well, you vote for, he was at some Christian cult conference or something. This was a bunch of Christians, and he told them, if you come vote, you're not going to have to vote again in 4 years. That's just red. To me, and they're using that as a scare tactic. Because they're trying to play into the, ostensibly trying to play into the 2020, the Project 225 stuff. To me, that's politics that Trump is playing. That's just me, okay? Yeah, he's playing into that. He knows his audience. He's a politician now. He's playing into that stuff. Because when he was talking to another group of people about 2 weeks ago, maybe even 10 days ago, I think about 10, 11 days ago. No, let's see. No, it was 2 weeks ago. He told them that that stuff is a bunch of BS. And that he would never advocate something like that. And that a lot of that stuff is ridiculous, the viewpoints and the policies. So which one is true and which one's not? They're all lies. He's a politician. But, so is Kamala. Now, there's an audio out there where she's talking about depopulation and didn't realize she said it. I think that it was a slip-up. But I do notice when I say slip up, I don't think she meant to say depopulation. I think she meant depollute. But the fact is, I notice the media isn't going around playing that on repeat. She's talking about Project Depopulation. But you could make an argument that the Democrats are doing that because they're already infiltrating sanctuary cities and majority Democrat / black cities with people who are now terrorizing black people. I notice the media doesn't talk about that. When they talk about authoritarian governments and dictatorships, don't people remember that the Biden administration is the one that mandated that people had to take the you-know-what or they would lose their jobs? That's never happened before. A government has never mandated that. They've put it out there as an option, but they've never mandated. But yet the president, the cabinet, and the Congress didn't have to take that you-know-what. Why is that? Why were they exempt, but everybody else had to? Why did all these billionaires all of a sudden invest in pharmaceutical companies right before the economic collapse? Why is it that the world lost $17 trillion in debt, but the amount of men, mostly men, all men, who were worth $100 billion went up from 2 to 15? Usually when we have a great worldwide global depression, the rich are the ones that get hurt the most. Remember all those millionaires in the 20s after 1929, October 1929, 1930, they were leaping off of buildings because they didn't know how to live they couldn't see themselves living without money. They got richer. How did that happen? Insider trading, insider information, it's all rigged. All one big club, and we're not part of it. So to me, in conclusion, fuck Donald Trump, fuck Kamala Harris. Not telling you not to vote, because I do think it matters to vote on the lower level, local, state. Yeah, get involved in that level, but these clowns, they're just puppets. They're basically two fangs on the same snake, two dirty, scratched up sides on the same coin, two wings on the same bird, one the left wing and one the right wing. Whatever a metaphor you want to use, it's the same, all the same thing. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it. They ain't fooling me. Tell me what you guys think.